Okay, so it's pretty much all of us. I can see Brian's here, but you're probably watching and maybe muted. What we're going to do with this session today is Justin's going to be driving it. He's going to be taking us through what is in our software today in terms of AI tools. Luke, our software development manager here, is here to support Justin and kind of catch him if he falls. And look, we may get in a little bit to kind of what you see down the road, but let's crack on and get into it first. So, Justin, where do you want to start in terms of showing us what the software can do today?
Yeah, well, that's it. Obviously this session will be about what's coming out in the update. So I think there's three facilities around AI.
And when you
Uh,
say coming out in the update, you're talking about an update that's in beta release at the moment. Are you
yeah,
also going to cover what's already been delivered to customers?
that's exactly right. Yeah, I'm going to start with that. So I think we first, started dabbling in AI, a couple of years ago. So that's using AI to write descriptions, whether that's extended descriptions or web descriptions, which I'll get into in a second.
And tell me,
Um,
why would I do that?
well, look, as far as if you're connected to an online store, web descriptions. The thing with online, you don't have the ability to have a salesperson there selling your product. So the more you can sell that product through your description, or the more you can describe products, whatever you want to do with it, the better it is for your online customer.
So a better description is going to help me be found more easily, and that will increase my sales.
Absolutely, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
But I did want to start with jumping around a bit, but an integration, and while it doesn't fall directly under the AI banner, but the integration we've done with barcode lookup. So I'm on the website here. This is an online database of, as you can see here, wasn't great at maths, but I'm pretty sure that's over 1 billion items. And rapidly growing as well. So I remember when we first came out with this integration, there was a couple 100,000 stock items there. So rapidly growing. Now what this does is I've got an item here. I'm just going to copy this barcode across. So if I scan this at my point of sale screen, so no matter where you are in the software, whether you're adding that item in through invoice arrival or whether you're doing it on the fly like I am, it will still talk with that online database and bring across that info. So this screen here is basically saying, hey, I can't find this barcode in the system. What do you want to do with it? So if I go add and go through my wizard, you'll see that it performs a quick little barcode lookup. Straight away, it's grabbed the description of that product. If I go next, I can assign it to a department. So I'm just going to go vet lines. You'll see here that's grabbed the brand. Really handy for if you are connected to a website to be able to sort of categorize those different items in certain brands. If I go next, I'm just going to give it a cost price of 5.95. Oops, I'll go back to that. So I've got it set here to that automatically suggests that I have it at $6.54, but a tool coming out in the software called AI pricing, if I click on that, you'll see that it basically analyzes that price local to your geographic area. So it's basically the system saying, hey, around your area, this particular item is selling for, a standard price of $13.05. People are selling it for as low as $11.75, and people are obviously selling it for a premium price of $15.35. So depending on your demographic and all that sort of stuff, you can actually choose what you want to sell it for, in your own store. I'm just going to go with the standard price here.
So just to be clear, Justin, so that people understand, you've gone from the barcode lookup search directly into one of the AI tools that's doing that price comparison of other businesses that are around me with the same product.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, and I'm just about to go into the another AI tool, which is the description. So, firstly, that's grab the extended description from the online database. So
Yep.
this extended description field is used for my, customers' receipts and invoices. So if
Yep.
there's any additional info you want to pass on through your receipts and invoices, you can use this field here.
Yep.
If I click on images, it's grabbed the image from that online database, which is really handy for, again, sending it across to your online store. It's grabbed all this additional info like size, manufacturer, and a couple of other things. But if I go to my web settings, if I click here, it's used that same descriptions. It's used as the extended description, but I can actually remove all that and use my AI tool, which is generate AI description. And within a couple of seconds, that can get AI to write that description for me. So
Justin,
basically,
you could have also left that description in there as well, and it would have used all of those keywords in the description that it was about to create as well. So,
yeah, good point. Yeah. So once I go save and exit, back to your point, if I go finish, not only has that added that product into my retailer database, but within a couple of minutes, that product will reflect online with an image, with a web price, with a web description, and a couple of other things as well.
And the thing is, once you've done this several times, the process becomes like second nature to you, just really simple for you to follow through every time and do it.
Exactly right. Yeah. Yeah. And if I go to my stock screen, how those look in the stock screen as well. So I've got two different buttons here. So again, AI pricing, that will bring up, the same screen as I demonstrated.
Yep.
And the barcode lookup. So if you've had a product in your database for the last 5 years, and you don't know that it exists on the barcode lookup database, you can actually click that. And if it does exist on it, it'll actually update those values if you don't have things like, images, web description,
Right.
so forth.
Okay.
Cool. While we're on the topic of bringing stock into the system, or
Yep.
fast tracking that, I guess, I want to touch on the AI import of invoices. So if I click on invoice arrivals here, I've got a AI import option, and I'm just going to find a particular invoice here. So I've got gift here. So I've got a couple of different examples here. So this invoice here, so half of this invoice is in my system already. So if I go analyze file, that will get AI to analyze the file. So this is the PDF version on the left-hand side here. It's going to analyze it and put it all into the grid over here.
Yep.
Things like, suppliers, freight, invoice number, it will grab it from that PDF over there. So you'll see here all these gray ones I've had in the software already, and all these ones are actually brand new items. Now, before I go and import that file, there's a couple of smarts about it. So if I want to assign, a department to all of these items that don't have departments, I can do that using here. And none of these have a barcode. So if I want to generate a barcode, I can go line by line, or I can come over here and generate barcodes for all the empty fields as well.
Right.
Photos here.
yeah, if the item on the invoice had a barcode, it would put that in that barcode there, wouldn't it, Justin?
Correct. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So you'll probably find like most invoices probably won't have your department and category info. You can set, I think I'm right, Luke, in saying you can set departments per, supplier. So
Supplier. Yep.
Yeah.
You can set department and category information per supplier now, so it'll default that information, or you can update it within the grid as well.
Yeah. Cool. So yeah, when I go save to arrivals, that will basically create an EDI invoice for this particular invoice. Oh, I just got to change.
Needed to add the items there, Justin. That's all, I think.
I think it was just the
You need the invoice number. You need to add the items. You've got no departments, and those items aren't added.
Oh, really? I thought you can do it through the EDI process, can't you?
Yeah, you can. Yes.
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that would just go through, and these all, as I said before, these items exist in the software. So that's just ticking over and updating any pricing info. If it gets to an item that's not in the software, it'll obviously go through my stock wizard where I can, assign departments and retail prices and whatnot.
You can do all that in the first section as well. So if you add all the stock items in and the departments and categories in, you can sort of skip this step provided there's no customer orders for the items. So makes it it can make it a little bit quicker.
Yeah. Good point.
While we're there, Luke, what size supplier invoices have you done your testing on?
So we've done some testing on invoices up to 100 odd line items, which is around 8 pages. Has been the largest ones that we've had testing with, and we haven't had any issues. The invoices are balanced perfectly.
And which different marketplaces have you done invoice testing for?
We've done testing on all the sectors that we deal with. So all our jewelers, bike shops,
garden letters,
garden
toy
centres,
shops, pet
pets,
shops. Yep.
Produce. Yeah.
Excellent.
If I have to look at another invoice through this, I'll probably start losing my hair.
You'll go back to Turkey for another top up. So with the testing that you've done, did you encounter any invoices that were like problematic for you in terms of the AI analysis and importing?
Look, there's always going to be times where invoices will not balance for particular reasons. Now, sometimes suppliers don't calculate things correctly on the invoice. So if the
Yep.
invoice doesn't balance mathematically, it's not going to mathematically balance with the AI.
Yep.
And the other problem we come across a little bit is the lack of information on some invoices. So some of the garden invoices and things like that, where there's no point of reference, so no supplier code or no barcode number for the system to match. The user still has to manually go in and link up each one of those, so it's not as quick.
Now, given that we're talking there about the exceptions of all of the invoices you tested, what percentage were just going through cleanly and simply based on your experience?
Around 85 to 90% were pretty well all the way through without any issues at all.
Okay.
But there were some exceptions to the rule.
Justin, do you happen to have another invoice there that you can show us?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. I've got a garden one here. So
Let's go and crank that one through.
yeah. So I haven't done this one at all. So basically, if it's a brand new supplier as well, it'll go through that process of automating all those details like supplier name and everything as well. So you don't have to go through that and do. I think I added in as we were talking. But yeah, that will go through and add all the supplier details that it's obviously found on the invoice as well. So this is an invoice where I haven't got any of these items in my database.
So you can see on that one there, Justin, it's had a crack at pulling out what it thinks the barcode number will be, but it's obviously not going to be a barcode that's going to be printable. So you would need to regenerate barcodes for those ones.
Yeah. And you can do that through, that'll only do empty barcodes, yeah.
Yep, just click the button. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So retailers generating those barcodes for you.
Yeah. Yep.
Cool.
And brings me to my last one, probably becoming not the more popular one, but definitely the one that I'm starting to like more and more, and that's stock item blog posts. I say that because I never really came across people that sort of utilize this tool, but the more I got talking to people about it and demonstrating it, it's not necessarily people weren't doing it, they just felt like they were time poor and didn't really have the time to sort of do these blog posts about particular products. But yeah, what this does is this will basically create a blog post for any stock item you've got in your database. There's a couple of smarts about it, so you can schedule these in. So if you're sitting at home one Sunday night and you want to schedule in a heap of blog posts, for that following week, you can absolutely do that as well. So I'm just going to find this product that I added in not long ago, and I go add new blog post, copy that barcode across. So that's found that. So if I go generate blog post,
Well organized.
yeah, I'll just find a random item here. So yeah, if I go generate blog post, that's going to basically write, and over here is my prompt. So you can do, depending on how you want to describe the product.
So let's pause for a second.
Yep.
So people understand. What you've got on the left-hand side of the screen is your prompt. You call it a prompt. And a prompt is something you give to an AI to give it guidance on what you're looking for it to do. So when Luke and his team have developed the software, it's fair to say, Luke, you've created a prompt here that you think is going to be useful for generating this type of text.
Yeah, so the prompt has been customized for just blog posts to try and get the best results for you, but you can go and make alterations to it. And this is just the default. So
let's look at that. So over on the left, where it says create a catchy and informative title, if I was doing it, I would be saying create a professional title. I'd be giving it a tone that I'm looking for, but we don't have to do that now. I'm saying that's an example of how people can modify the prompt to suit what they want in their business.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
So in creating this blog post here, which is what we've got over on this kind of right-hand side of the screen, Justin, you're saying it's giving us that, then you can go and modify that, can't you?
Yeah, I can. Yeah. It'll also show the image if there's images against that product as well, and I'll obviously send across that image with the post. But yeah, you can actually modify it. If you're happy with it, you obviously run your eye over it. But if you're happy with it, you can just click on save, upload blog post. And if all is working, once that status gets changed to sent, if I go to a dummy blog post over here,
There
yeah,
it is.
there's my blog post.
Yep.
So yeah, that will, I think the platforms, correct me if I'm wrong, a Shopify, WooCommerce, and BigCommerce sites.
Yep.
There was no other ones, was there?
No, just those three.
Yeah.
So, Luke, you've done the experimenting with this when your team were developing it. You've experimented with this a fair bit. And tell us about your experiences when you were experimenting with it. I mean, were you skeptical at first about this, and were you happy with the end result?
Look, we're fairly happy with the end result. I'm just hoping users will leverage off its capabilities and hopefully make their lives a lot easier because we're all time poor in our businesses. So I do think this could be a very valuable tool, a real diamond in the rough uh, section of the program.
Yep.
So yeah, I think by leveraging off existing data you have in the software and being able to push that straight up to your website, I think is going to be invaluable.
Yep. Okay. All right. So look, we'll stop Justin sharing, and first of all, see whether there's anybody with any questions that they would like us to cover. And if people want, you can type in your question and we'll see it come up over in the chat. If not, we will continue on. So, Justin, when you're demonstrating this to people, what sort of questions are they asking about what you're showing them in terms of AI tools?
No, look, they're honestly not coming back with questions. It's more just blown away with the level of functionality. Like, Luke mentioned it before, a lot of people are time poor, and just to recap what we went through, like bringing stock in electronically, whether that's through the barcode lookup or the AI import, automatically getting that across to your website as well, like all takes, a couple of seconds.
So if we look at a 100 line item invoice from say a garden supplier or a produce supplier or whatever, for them to enter that manually would take somewhere between 20 minutes and an hour.
Mm.
At the typical error rate, there's going to be, 2 or 3 errors that need to be corrected in that process. So there's all that time being spent and those mistakes that you need to correct for. Here, we're doing it in a matter of seconds and the accuracy is a lot higher. And if there is an issue like the barcodes in that last example we saw, it's very easy to resolve that. So, in terms of the benefit, there's the time saving, there's the mistake reduction, and then there's the benefit of being found more easily online through better product descriptions and things like that.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, you don't need to expand too much on that. Yep, it's good.
No, you nailed it. Yeah.
So, Luke, what do retailers need to get ready to get the AI functionality when the update's released?
So they'll need to be on the middle level of
The advanced
software
package.
rental.
Advanced
Yeah.
package.
Yeah.
Advanced or ultimate, and they will need an API key with one of the providers. So whether or not that's OpenAI or Google Gemini, definitely look at the two different platforms. You can run both platforms as well and have different models / providers for the different areas. So the good thing with having the paid versions of OpenAI is that you can tell it not to use your data for the training of their models.
So you're keeping the data within your business.
Yeah.
Yep. The other thing is, Luke, if somebody's got the advanced level of our software today and wanted to be a beta site, you could possibly add them to the beta program.
Yep, just need to flick that through to the support guys. Just let them know that you want to be on the beta program, and then we can look at adding you in, and you can have access to the functionality today.
Okay, so Tim, you're preparing to do this similar session on Wednesday.
Yeah.
And you've just sat through what Justin was able to show us.
Brilliant. Just train me on what I need to do. Yeah, thanks, Justin.
So, what do you think he missed?
Look, there's only one feature, and it's it's not that he's missed it because it's not in retailer, but I still think it's a very important part of our AI direction, and that is the live chat through the website or the ability to jump onto the Tower website, put a question in there, whether you're a customer or even if you're a prospect, whatever you want to know, type it into the live chat, and it will come back with some very good answers.
And the answers that it's coming back with are answers that it's drawing on solely from the knowledge we've trained it in. It's not going out to the world and getting answers from out in the world. It's only getting answers from within the Tower ecosystem.
Yeah. So a bit of a trap there for Justin because it's not it's not exactly in the software, but it's part of what we do and a big part of it.
So
I guess my question, Luke, is just quickly, a lot of people ask about like costings. Like obviously they pay the advanced package to us, but as far as costings go and accounts go with ChatGPT, is that high at all or?
No, it's not too high. So usually the running costs, what we experienced with the testing we did, it cost around 4 to 5 cents an invoice for it to analyze to do the work.
Yeah.
So when you put
Just
it
as
in
an FYI, I put $100 into the account when we started looking at this. And Luke's done copious amounts of testing, and we've still got about $50 left. So
Yeah, right.
we've spent $50 over the course of 6 months,
6
and
months,
that's throwing
And,
hundreds of
I dare
invoices
say,
at it. So
I dare say we're all sharing his same code and
correct,
Yeah.
correct.
testing it as well.
So, and this could be a question for the room. There's a lot of press coverage about AI, and there's this whole hype about how exciting it is, and then on the other side, there's the negative stuff of it's putting people out of jobs, and it's dumbing down, it's blanding, making bland a whole bunch of content. So what are the risks? What's the downside of people using this to generate product descriptions? Aren't the product descriptions for these products all going to be the same?
Well, the thing is that it's about the detail that you put into it as well.
Yeah.
So when you're doing things like blog posts, if you can give it content or context of what you want this to be about, you're going to get a more refined answer and more refined blog post or
So
refined product description.
one way you can do that is you can tell the AI who to represent themselves as. Imagine I am and then you say, a qualified horticulturalist, and I want to write something professional and calm about this, as opposed to using a happy voice or a happy tone, write this. So it's about the context you give it and the prompt information so that it is able to personalize something for you.
Mm.
Yeah, there's a whole heap of stuff you can do if you want to delve into the world of your prompt configuration. There's a whole heap of frameworks and stuff you can read that will go through about how you should prompt a question for AI.
Well, there are also prompts for that you would give an AI to help it generate a prompt for you to give
correct.
To an AI. Yep.
Correct.
which is a whole other thing.
Yep. It's a whole level of inception that we've had to deal with.
Yep.
So let's go back to the price check one, because I think that's an interesting, very immediate. I can see exactly what it's looking at. So I've got the AI gives me 3 price points, and I can choose where I want to sit price wise. Luke, can you speak at all to how it's going about getting that price comparison data?
So it's taking consideration your physical location, and we pull that from the serialized data or the business detail data, so it knows where you're actually situated, and then it takes in the psychology of that area and the economic factors for that area to determine what price points to recommend you sell that item for. So it passes it across the description, the barcodes, the supply code. To try and analyze it and give you some.
Okay. So let's jump finally to blog posts. And I know, Justin, you gave us a good example there of it generating a blog post for a product. The thing is, blog posts continue to be the best way for a website to be found, to generate new traffic. And if you were putting a new blog post up at least every day, that's 365 blog posts a year. That makes a lot of sense in a retail situation because Google is going to see that as new content, particularly if you're taking the AI generated blog post and just personalizing it a bit so it becomes your own content. That's going to help boost your Google rankings, and boosted Google rankings will increase your online sales. So there's a financial benefit from you doing that. But, writing 350 blog posts in a year is a lot of work for a lot of people. So this generation that Justin was just showing us can really make life a lot easier for us.
And being able to schedule them as well. Like you could jump in and choose 7 products on a Monday, set those dates, and you're done in a couple of minutes.
Yeah, look, it makes a big difference, and it helps you. It helps you feed. We keep talking about websites as being hungry beasts, and it helps you feed that hungry beast to get the content out there and be found by people. There's a good example from a Tower point of view. We put some blog posts up about music shop software, and we got sales directly as a result of that. And I want to say the same thing happened with our bookshop software as well. If you type in music shop software, we rank number 1 or number 2 in Australia, and that's solely on the back of blog posts. So they're a very powerful way to be found. All right, Tim, Justin, Gavin, anything else you would add to people who might be watching this and thinking about AI and POS software?
Well, look, I would just say turn them on. Give them a shot. Especially, the barcode lookup one. You can do that pretty immediately and be using it. The invoicing one's still coming. So, but yeah, what's there at the moment? Start using it.
Yep. Luke, anything you would add?
Well, they can start using the web description straight away today without any issues, without any software updates. But if you are interested, definitely let us know. We can add you to the beta list and you can join the fun.
All right.
I'm going to ask the question you hate. Any time frame on this new release?
It's in beta now, so it's very close for people being able to get access to it.
Yeah.
No, it is. It's in beta today. With people using it today. We're getting feedback today. It's a good thing, really good thing. Justin, we're going to give the last word to you, given that this is your session. You were the one driving the demonstration.
Yeah.
And, you cut your teeth working in retail and managing a shop. And you were doing a lot of this stuff yourself manually. I'm sure you loved it at the time.
Absolutely, I loved it.
If you put your retailer hat on, what difference do you think this makes in terms of how you might run a business?
Well, it just removes all the hard work for, as I said, a lot of people blame that they're time poor, but it removes that excuse for anyone. So it allows you to put more time into other parts of the business that you might want to grow, and obviously make your business more profitable as a consequence. So yeah, I guess having AI doing the work for you allows you to concentrate on other parts of the business, and if you've got a family, concentrate on doing fun things with your family.
There you go. One thing actually, I've got an invoice and it comes in with a chunky amount of freight. I've got to account for that manually, don't I?
Sorry?
If I've got an amount of freight that I'm being charged by a supplier for that invoice that's coming in, do I have to account for that manually?
No, they'll bring across the freight.
And what will it do?
What
treats it the same way retailer treats it now, so it'll bring it in as a
I know the answer. I know the answer, Gavin. I was hoping that Justin might have.
I was saving him because he looked like he was a deer in the headlights, Mark. I could tell.
No idea, I would say.
Oh dear. Okay. All right. Well, look, let's leave it there. Thank you. And Justin, maybe go and research how freight's handled.
Arrival. Yeah. We'll read the knowledge base article.
All right. We'll talk soon.
Cool.
Thanks.